Hi, Pisces. Welcome to your 2022 year ahead forecast with me, Shanna Cross, with apogeethemoon.com. So we are going to jump in and we're going to talk about the energies of the 2022 year ahead. The nodes are changing, the eclipses are changing, planets are changing signs, things are going on. So what I'm going to talk about first is I'm going to talk about the energy of the sun, the moon, and the nodes and the eclipses that are going on. And then we're going to go into like the Mercuries of the world through all of the planets and what's going on with them for the year. So where they are and what they're doing. And this is just a general overview. And I want to do monthly forecasts for, all 12 signs going into the energy of the month and what's going on per month as we get into 2022. So that's where I'm at with it. To start with, though, in January 2nd of 2022, we do have a new moon at 12 degrees of Capricorn. And this is happening in your 11th house. This is friends, social networks, people that you surround yourself with by choice. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because in January of 2020, pre-pandemic, we had a singularity point. We had Pluto, the Sun, Saturn, and Mercury all at 22 degrees of Capricorn. Venus, at the time of this new moon on January 2nd of 2022, is at 22 degrees of Capricorn. This is a reiteration of that energy. This is bringing something, culmination, completion, and connecting us to what that energy was in January of 2020. And I just wanted you to make you aware of that, just because this is really powerful for you. This is in your 11th house of the people and groups that you associate with by choice. So there's definitely something at this new moon, either the seeding of a new intention around friendships and groups and people and networking, or a letting go of old networks and people that you no longer wish to surround yourself with. So there is that, and I wanted to bring that up because I wanted to make that point. On January 19th, officially, the nodes are moving into Taurus and Scorpio. So this is happening in your 3rd and in your 9th house. So the nodes are shifting from your 4th and your 10th, what it is that you had going on in terms of your career, what was going on in your career, what you needed to let go, what you needed to bring back from the past, things like that, how it is that you needed to be known, and moving more into the home, the family, the property, where you hang your head every night or hang your hat every night, where you lay your head every night, right? So there's definitely some things that were going on for you in terms of your home and your property and possibly moving out of the blue, things like that. But now we're coming into the 3rd and the 9th house. And so the nodes moving into Taurus and Scorpio. This is hitting your short distance travel, long distance travel, your community that you live in, your worldview, how you frame reality, your dogma, all kinds of things are seen from the 3rd and the 9th house. 3rd house can also be your small business if you have a small business. It's commerce as well, not just a social house, but it's also commerce. So there is that as well for you. Now, on February 6th through the 16th, the nodes will actually be at 27 degrees, activating that partial lunar eclipse that we had in November of 2021. And so this is activating that point. It's a sensitized point now that we've had an eclipse there. And so now with the nodes transiting here, this can be a manifestation of that fulfillment, completion, and finalization, and the final wrapping up and letting go of something, happening around this time. Because on the 16th as well of February, same day, the nodes are still here, 27, wow, that was quite the mouthful, 27 degree Leo full moon. And so this is happening in your 12th, and in your 6th house. And so there is a, there's a manifestation here. And so the other thing I want to say is that the 3rd, the 9th, the 6th, and the 12th, these are all also mental houses, right? These are the thoughts before we take the action, right? Okay. So just so you're aware of that. So there is definitely a fulfillment and a completion of something to do with your health, your wellness, your daily routine, how you're resting in between what it is that you're doing every single day as well. Or, you know, with it being a Leo full moon, this could be a completion and a finalization of some type of health issue that's going on for you, or some type of routine that you are now putting to bed, finalizing, completing, and letting go. So there is that as well. So just so you're aware, there is an activation of that partial lunar eclipse that happened in November of 2021 and what that means for you. So then in April, we have the first partial solar eclipse of 2022 happening at 10 degrees of Taurus. This is with Uranus in your third house. And so there could be very wild new beginnings in terms of your communication with others, your neighborhood that you live in. There could be wild surprises there. You know, this could also be if you run a small business with Uranus here, that Uranus rules your finances, your money, your materials, your possessions. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It rules your 12th house. Aries rules your money, materials, and possessions. Sorry about that, Pisces. Uranus rules your 12th house of the past, or our deep-seated psychological manipulations that we have going on in our head, are undercurrents of self-sabotage and you know, deep-seated psychological issues, as well as past lives, past karma, things like that coming forward. And so there could be conversations going on about highly spiritual practices here in the physical, tangible world around us, because this eclipse is happening in Taurus. This is a very physical, you know, sign. It's the first physical sign, you know, the first earth sign there is of the zodiac. So it is fixed. It is refinement of the nicer things, right? So it's definitely a very refined sign, with Uranus here kind of shaking things up. Maybe some of the conversations that you've had have come out of the blue. Maybe you've come out of the blue with things. You've said some things that maybe you wish you could take back. So with this partial solar eclipse, there's definitely something new coming in terms of how it is that you're communicating, what you're communicating about, how you're going about communicating the signs and synchronicities, and maybe even dreams that come through, if that's applicable to you. And also, oh, I just had something in my head that was really nice. Darn it. And that just gone, just like that. Anyway, so this chart, that when I was looking at it, is a very auspicious chart. And I say that because there's a lot of trines, a lot of sextiles, a lot of activations, a lot of really nice energy that we haven't seen up until now, that we can seize hold of and utilize for this eclipse and around this eclipse, and really nice things and positive things that can happen. The one thing I will say is that Pluto is stationing to go retrograde. So this can see, you know, feeling like an ominousness surrounding communicating with social groups, or maybe there is very deep, very platonic kind of intense conversations with networks and people in your network, or over the internet, as it may be. And then on May 16th, we do have that total lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Scorpio, squaring Saturn, you know, in your 12th house. So there's definitely some very behind the scenes. Maybe this could be, if you were looking to travel, this could, around this time, you know, within a month or two before or after, this could see you traveling to a very distant or a very different culture than what it is that you are living in currently. And I say that, but there could be delays, there could be, you know, limitations on what you can do, or even if you can go, but there can be an opportunity there, or the letting go of a travel that you want to have because of something that's restricting, you know, with that 12th house. Now, Mercury will be retrograde in Gemini at the time of this solar eclipse, or lunar eclipse, I'm sorry. Boy, why is Pisces getting all messed up for me? Sorry, Pisces. This is my moon sign. Shouldn't be this way. So Mercury is retrograde in Gemini. You know, this is happening in your fourth house of home, family, and property. So there could be reevaluations going on in your fourth house of home, family, and property. Maybe your parents, you know, your place of living, maybe there's something that needs to be done there. There's some paperwork or something that needs to go on. Venus will be in your second house, you know, which is with Chiron. So there could definitely be some guilt, shame, wounds, traumas, things like that coming up with, no. Yeah, it's in your second house. So there could be some conversations that come up, right? Because this eclipse is happening in your third house. This could be conversations around guilt, shame, vulnerability, around your money, around what it is that you actually truly value, or maybe about how you need to heal what it is that you value or heal something to do with money. There is that going on. Mars will be in your sign, so you will be feeling very fired up. Mars will be with Neptune, and this can create a dynamic here where you're feeling really fired up, but it's kind of like a boiling pot where you don't really know what to do with this energy. Or maybe this has to do with maybe a boiling pot around that guilt, shame, fear, vulnerability, to do with your finances, because Mars does rule your second house of finances. So this could definitely be, you know, some things going on there, positive or, you know, negative as the case may be, balanced or imbalanced as the case may be, with this energy and what's going on here for you. And especially to do with, you know, what's going on the home front and having those very intense conversations, you know, kind of from a governing authority, a foreign authority, maybe if you have your money in offshore accounts or something like that. That's just for a select few people. I'm just throwing out situations that could occur. So October 25th, we do have a partial solar eclipse at 2 degrees of Scorpio. This is happening in your ninth house. So maybe there's an opportunity here for a foreign trip that is coming back around that you can actually do, that you can take. And this is happening in October. And so maybe there's something going on here that you can actually seize hold of and take that trip that you wanted to take. Now, the total lunar eclipse is happening at 15 degrees of Taurus in your third house with Uranus. So if you are going on a trip at the end of the year, expect it to be very disruptive. And expect maybe there to be, you know, some really kind of weird things going on, because Uranus is in the mix. Now with the square to Saturn, you know, in your 12th house, this could definitely be a really interesting energy in terms of, you know, be careful if you are traveling to a very foreign country, Pisces, because you want to make sure that you know the laws. You want to make sure that you know the rules and the regulations, because if you don't, you could be stuck there. If you are moving to a foreign country, you want to make sure that your paperwork is in order, or you could possibly be fined or kicked out, or your stay will be rather unpleasant, if that's the case, if that's applicable to you. Now with Mars going retrograde in Gemini, this is going retrograde in your fourth house. So there could definitely be money, having to do money, having to utilize money and resources, possibly for a home or from a home, to pay for something, right? To pay for a move, or to, you know, spend money on fixing something to do with the home front, maybe the windows or the doors or the locks or something like that, right? Like there could be something going on here for you that has to do with fixing something on the home front that is more of an air element, which would be the windows, the doors, the locks, things like that, air quality, things like that. So that's that. That's what I have for you. And then we move on to Mercury in the retrogrades of the year. We will be having 4 Mercury retrogrades this year. We are starting out the first 3 in the air signs, and then the final one will start in the earth sign. So Mercury is transitioning from going retrograde in the air signs to the earth signs. So this is going from your 4th, your 8th, and your 12th to your 3rd, your 7th, and your 11th. So there's definitely the 3rd, the 7th, and the 11th are all social houses. The 4th, the 8th, and the 12th are very private houses, or houses of endings, or houses of sorrow, houses of loss. So there's definitely a sense here of blending these areas of Mercury being retrograde, and themes that can come up, especially for you, could be maybe themes for the first one from January to February, starting out in Aquarius in your 12th house, themes of sabotaging friendships, or themes of friends sabotaging you, right? Like it can work both ways, but it's starting out in Aquarius, and so it's moving back into Capricorn. And I would say that this would be more like you maybe sabotaging your social networks, or sabotaging your ability to associate with groups of people, or miscommunications that are really unclear surrounding groups of people, or humanitarian pursuit or spiritual pursuit, right? Like the two can commingle. So just be aware of that from January to February, that there could be maybe some things that are not nice going on, and endings in friendships because of miscommunications. So there is that. And then in May, we do have Mercury going retrograde, 4 degrees of Gemini back to 26 degrees of Taurus. So this is starting out in your 4th house. This is starting out with the home, the family, and the property, and going back to the communication sector for you in terms of maybe communicating with your parents, communicating with a realtor, communicating with people that live in your home specifically, and communication surrounding home. So there's definitely some themes going on here for you in terms of things that you're going to have to revamp and redo on the home front, and in conversation, maybe even in your community as well, or with siblings, or with, or maybe this has to do with your siblings' home, your siblings or your extended family members' home and property and things like that, or your parents' siblings, right? Or your parents, like your aunts and your uncles and things like that. So that could be it too. And then September 10th, we start out with Mercury retrograde in Libra. This is happening in your, good Lord. Yeah, this is happening in your 6th house. No, your 8th house. So this is happening in your 8th house to your 7th house. Good Lord. I don't know why this is. I'm sorry, Pisces. I'm just sorry. And it's my moon sign, like I said before. So this is starting out in your 8th house, going back into your 7th house. So there could be a reevaluation going on in terms of the money, the materials, and the inheritance, insurance, payouts, debt, joint finances of some kind to do with your partner specifically. Maybe there's a reevaluation going on here with your partner about what they need to do with their resources, and how their resources can affect you, or what's going on with their job. Maybe they themselves are getting a new job and it's maybe not what was expected. So just be aware that that could be going on too. And then the final retrograde of the year is happening in Capricorn at 24 degrees. We're revisiting that 24-degree area of Capricorn from the beginning of the year, and from 2021 when Pluto stationed to go direct at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So this area of our charts is seeing a major rehaul in terms of, your friends and group associations, who you're associating with, why you're associating with them. This could even be, your relationships with groups of people across the internet, if that's applicable to you. This could be, if you're single, this could be maybe trying to start a relationship with someone across the internet. It could be something like that too. So just so you're aware of that. And then Venus and Mars. So Venus is starting out the year in retrograde already. She went retrograde on December 19th at 26 degrees of Capricorn, all the way back to 11 degrees, going direct on January 29th. And so this revamp for you is happening in your 11th house of your groups, the groups and associations that you associate with by choice, your friends, your acquaintances, your what's the other word I'm looking for here? Your networks and the people that are in your network, and schmoozing, right? Schmoozing and boozing. That's what I say. So there could definitely be a revamp of your friends groups and what's going on with those, and your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your your future goals and orientations in this life, and your humanitarian pursuits, right? So there could be a revamp going on here for you. Now, Mars going retrograde October 30th is going retrograde in your 4th house. So what started out with Venus going retrograde in 2020 at the same degrees of Gemini, 25 through 5 degrees, continued with Mercury going retrograde at these same degrees in 2021. Now here in 2022 into 2023, Mars is going retrograde at these same degrees. There is something going on the home front. Now our money is involved, right? Because this is your 2nd house ruler of your money, your materials, your possessions, and you're having to, spend some money probably on a home, on a revamping of a home, or something to do with money for a home specifically. So there is that as well. This could even be, money. This could even be money for the purchase of a home in a foreign place. Like maybe you're deciding to move, right? Because Mars is also your 9th house ruler of Scorpio. And so that could be something here too. Now, on February 14th, Venus and Mars are coming conjunct at 14 degrees of Capricorn. This is in your 11th house of your groups and organizations and people that you associate with by choice, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your future goals and orientations. And they're running together through March 10th in Aquarius, right? So it starts out in Capricorn in this area of our lives, and then it goes into the 12th house. Now, when these two come enter when they enter into Aquarius on March 7th, they're reactivating that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction because they are coming in together. They are still conjunct. They're not exact, but they are really super close. They're less than a degree apart. So this is reactivating that energy in a different way. So whatever was going on for you in December of 2020, Pisces, this is going to be another installment of that story, of that saga. And so it's a continuation of that energy, but in a different way. And with it being Venus and Mars, this could be, this could be feeling really fired up and really passionate and having very behind the scenes conversations, even foreign affairs, if that's a thing that's applicable to you, a secret love affair with a foreigner, something like that. That's for some of you. For some of you, it could also be conversations with people at a distance from you, but in private. Like nobody's going to know about it. Nobody's going to hear about it. These are very private conversations. So just be aware that there could be secrets, right? Because this is the house of secrets. This could also see you being really fired up and really passionate about pulling away from the world and resting because you need to, because you've been busy. So there could be something going on here specifically for you in that area. And then Jupiter is coming home and it's refreshing you, Pisces. So especially if you're an ascendant Pisces, Jupiter coming into your sign, you had a taste of what this was going to be like from May to July of last year, right? Of 2021. So now, starting in December of 2021 through May of 2022, you are going to feel expansive, like sky's the limit, right? Like refreshed, revitalized. One of your co-rulers is coming home, and it's coming conjunct your other ruler, right? So you are ruled by both Jupiter and Neptune. Neptune is already here, kind of making you feel like free floaty and like, you know, high on life kind of thing. And now with Jupiter here, Jupiter is refreshing. Jupiter is bringing a breath of fresh air, optimism, luck, expansion. All areas of life can be changed if we feel expansive, if we feel bigger than life, right? And so now you're not having those eclipses where, right? It's my moon sign. So now that you're not having those eclipses in your 10th and your 4th anymore, and it's moved on to something that's conducive to new relationships and travel and, you know, worldview and expanding your mind. I mean, this is amazing. This is awesome. Now you can be as expansive as you want, Pisces, because that's your energy. And so on May 11th, though, it does enter Aries. So Jupiter is expanding on your income, on your money, on your materials, on your possessions, on your values, what it is that you value at a deep core level. And so there could be some things going on here for you. You know, it does station to go retrograde. So we are getting a preview. We are getting a taste of what's going on here for you with your money, your materials, your possessions, your finances, you know, what it is, how it is that you spend your money, what you spend your money on. So there could definitely be some interesting developments here for you through October 29th. When it does re-enter Pisces, it re-enters your sign. So there's something here that you yourself are reevaluating. There's something that maybe was missed, you know, at the end of April, you know, into May. And now here we have a chance of reevaluating it. You yourself can reevaluate what it is that's going on with you, what it is that you need to change, what it is that you still need to grow from. I was trying to combine a bunch of words there. Sorry about that. October 29th through November 23rd, it will be in Pisces. It will station to go direct November 23rd and finish out most of the year in Pisces still. So just be aware that, you know, there's definitely something that's going to be revisited, that you yourself will be changing in ways that are beneficial for the long term. At least for the next 12 years. So Saturn, we will start off the year with Saturn just barely coming off the square to Uranus from your 3rd to your 12th. And so there could have been some really intense, really shocking, really wild conversations behind the scenes that are kind of really not, you're just not here for it. You're not liking it. You're not at all. So there could be something like that for you. And then it will move on, you know, after January. And so we won't really be revisiting it, but we'll come close later on in the year. But on June, it will station to go retrograde at 25 degrees. So it's making its way really quickly through Aquarius for you. It is stationing to go retrograde at 25 degrees. It is going direct at 18 degrees. So really between that 18 and 25 degrees, there's something that is going to be reevaluated there. And so the melancholy, the feeling of being alone, those things will come up for you if you have any planets or anything like that at those degrees. Just know that it will pass. Like this is kind of limiting your interaction with people and things, and really kind of trying to get you to see where it is that you sabotage your own self, right? Because this is Saturn, it is a co-ruler of your 12th house. It is coming home. It is kind of, you know, strengthening that connection if you allow it to, but you have to put in the work to strengthen that connection. So if you put in the work, the benefits of Saturn once it leaves Aquarius and comes through your sign can definitely benefit you in the long term, just so you're aware. Now Uranus is starting out at 10 degrees of Taurus, and so it is stationing to go direct in January, right? So the whole month of January is really tumultuous, intense, wild, liberating, freeing conversations, out of the blue messages, things like that. Your phone, your email, your internet, your text messages will be blowing up, and very out of the blue, shocking messages will be coming up for you for this whole month, really, of January. And then it does station to go retrograde on August 24th at 18 degrees of Taurus. And so for the remainder of the year, it's going to go back over, 18 to 14 degrees until it goes direct in 2023. But expect the very first part of this year to have very shocking, very liberating, very wild, out of the blue communications coming in for you, Pisces. Just be aware of that is happening. And so it will get easier as the year goes on. Still going to be shocking though. And then we have Neptune, and Neptune obviously is in your sign. It's in your first house. It's been kind of giving you this free floaty. It could be causing anxiety too, because Neptune, Neptune does give a little bit of that anxiety, that like anxiousness of not knowing where energy is coming from or going. And so you don't know if it's for you kind of thing. But it's also kind of fuzzying and blurring the lines of you yourself. And so maybe you're not feeling like yourself. And so just so you're aware, if you are anywhere from 20 to 25 degrees, but really from 22 to 25 degrees, you're going to be seeing a little bit more of this Neptunian kind of free floaty energy. And sometimes it can feel good. It just depends on what else is going on in your chart. And then we have Pluto. And so Pluto is in Capricorn. It's restructuring deeply at a very hardcore level your groups and associations and who you're associating with and why you're associating. And what it's leaving is that core group of people that will be there over the long term, right? Because it is Capricorn. So we start off the year at 25 degrees, we go forward to 28, and then go back to 26 to station to go direct. So if you have any planets or points in Capricorn at that, especially at that 28 to 26 degree, expect things to kind of be imploded a little bit, to be, intense and volatile and changing at a very deep core level for you in terms of the people that you associate with by choice. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. I hope you like, share, subscribe. Follow me for more content. I am planning on doing a monthly, a monthly video for all 12 signs to go over the energies of the month. So definitely, by all means, I'll see you soon, right?